Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. The value you're going to take away from today's video is lessons and advices you need to hear and come to Peacewin in order to thrive and become better step by step in this new year. Although a lot of time has gone by, like we're already done with the first month, so never mind. And these are just bits and pieces of like ideals and like thoughts that have been going around in my head from so long, and the lessons that I've learned in my entire life. So I just decided to group it all together and put it in one video. So this is definitely going to be helpful because there are just some things that you can't classify them into subjects. There are just some things that you need to hear. You need to come to peace with these facts and need to understand these facts in order to live better. So this is exactly that. So let's just get straight into it. So first of all, manifestation is a way of living. Now you cannot schedule in manifestation. Manifestation is not a totally different concept. It's not like a task. It's not a habit that you have to do because you are basically manifesting all the time, 24/7. How are you doing that? So what is manifestation? It's not all the techniques that you've seen on YouTube and all of these different manifestation techniques people teach you how to do manifestation 24 hour blah blah blah. See, all of these, yes, they may work, but I've always said that it will work if you believe it will work. If you watch my manifestation video, manifestation, what it really is what you think right now, what you think, what you feel, what you believe in comes to your reality. So whatever whichever thought, whichever feeling, whichever belief I will give my attention to, that will come into my reality and that will become my reality eventually. So whatever you think, you attract. That is manifestation. So if you are constantly thinking 24/7, you're constantly feeling 24/7, and you're constantly believing in some things, maybe your limiting beliefs, or maybe all the beliefs that you hold from childhood, right? So you're thinking about them, you're believing in them, you're feeling them 24/7. So you can never stop manifesting. It is almost as the same process of breathing. So as you breathe in, you take in the oxygen, and you breathe out, you release carbon dioxide. Similarly, manifestation also, whichever thought you're thinking right now, that will eventually come into your reality. Whatever you're giving attention to with the full feeling, with the full faith, that comes into your reality. So you cannot schedule in manifestation all of these different, that's, you need to strengthen your core basics, right? Because people, what they do, they go on YouTube and they do these 10 different techniques and they practice all of these different stuff, but they don't strengthen the main thing. Like I've seen so many people that they try to do all of these, like, oh, I'm manifesting right now, manifestation with this, with that, with this, with that, but their core faith in what they want to achieve is never there. They never believe that they're going to get it. I've seen so many people on these on YouTube, on Instagram, so many of these influencers talking about manifestation. Manifestation is really what you think, what you feel, what you believe, you attract that. So remember that whatever you're doing right now, that is manifestation. You cannot schedule it in, you cannot give time to it because you're doing it all the time. Second thing is self-awareness is so important. I cannot stress the importance of this. This is what I like learned in the past. This was my major learning, that self-awareness, learning about yourself, who you are, what you do right now, what path are you going on, right, wrong, whatever you're doing, you need to know about it. You need to be aware about it. And this is why I love going to therapists. There's this big misconception about therapy, that it's meant for the depressed people or somebody who's mentally ill. That's not the case always. I'm not like that, but I still go there because I want to discover it. And even if there's something inside of me, I want to dig it up and I want to remove it all the limiting beliefs or whatever it may be. So awareness is so important. You need to know what you're doing, because sometimes what happens, we get caught in the cycle of complaining and blaming. We blame our situation for how our reality is going. How you blame your parents, you blame the people around you, you blame your friends that I'm not getting straight A's because of you, because of my influence. But sometimes you don't realize that maybe you are the problem, and that is why self-awareness is important. You need to know that yes, at this moment right now, I need to look at everything else, how it is going, and maybe cut out some things that are not working for me. But first, I need to look inside of me to see what I am doing wrong and what I am doing right. And self awareness, it also is a key step in your self love, right? Because you need to know who you are as a person, what you believe in, and what your values are, your morals, what situations you've gone through, how you emerge out of those situations, every single situation. You need to know about it all. And even in and majorly this is very important in certain situations where you find yourself complaining and blaming. or you trying to find the problem. Always look inside of you. You will say, okay, it's my parents' fault that they didn't have such a good family, so right now I'm getting family pressure right now. It may be that you are inside, you lack love. You have this kind of belief, limiting belief rooted in you, that your family will never love you. So as I said, manifestation, what you think, what you believe in. If I'm believing in my family, that my family will never love me, it will never love me. Now, yes, you might be saying that, oh, but that is the reality, right? That is what that's the realistic reality right now. But see, if you continue to believe in the fact that yes, your family doesn't love you, it will never love you. Now, yes, you may say that is your reality, but remember, you can always change your reality. Your mind has the power to change your reality. So if I think that my family loves me, they adore me, they support me so much, they will eventually come to that, because you're constantly thinking about it, and not just thinking but believing in that fact. Just thinking about it, doing all these affirmations all the time, and just doing these robotic affirmations. Of course they will work, but only if you believe in the fact. You have to believe in it in order for it to come to reality, in order for it to come to shape. If you don't believe in that they will love you, they will never end up loving you. And yes, first of all, please stop being realistic. What are you getting by being realistic? Your reality stays the same. Your dreams, hopes, they're unachieved, still lying in the corner. Nothing happens. Why be realistic? F being realistic. Just start to think of your reality as how you want it to be. And that is why self awareness is important. Learn to, and also, this same example that I was giving, family one, sometimes you yourself feel like you don't deserve love, or you don't give out love to people. You don't have it within you, so you cannot get it in your reality. It will never be reflected in your reality. You can watch other videos of mine to get to know more about this, but the main point is, look inside of you to find out the problem, because sometimes it's not other people, it's not other situations. Sometimes it may be just you, and that happens majority of the time. Now, number 3, people complain so much, and complaining is so bad. Now you will find people complaining about their current situation. Okay, see, now people complain about past, present, future, all three like timelines. So they will complain about what they happened to them, they will complain about right now their current situation, they will complain about what they want or what they don't have. You will find people complaining, and it is such a low vibrational emotion. It's the same thing as fear and doubt. I hate complaining. I hate complaining so much, because what is it giving you in reality? Like, what does it actually provides to you? Like, fine, if you say, okay, anger, when something happens to me, I'll let it out in anger. Okay, fine, you're letting your emotion out, so that can count. Um, let's say you're crying, so that's also releasing your emotion. You're paying gratitude. Okay, yes, you're being grateful for what you have. But what is complaining doing right now? Is it actually providing something? Is it actually even an emotion? It shouldn't even count as an emotion. It is just a state of where you're like neglecting whatever you have. You're neglecting every single thing. You're neglecting the fact that yes, you're right now on this earth and you're breathing, and you've been blessed and privileged by God Himself. When you complain, you're literally like telling God that you're so bad, you made me like this. You're literally blaming Him. You're complaining about it. So never ever ever complain. You will complain about your current situation, and why do you have to, when you know you have the power to change it? And even you have to change it, even if you want to change it, you still have to be grateful about it, because this is a moment, this is a point at your life, right? And every single point at your life, it is teaching you something, it is giving you something. You might not realize it, but it is always there. So that is why awareness, self awareness, know what the situation is trying to teach you, what the situation is trying to give you. Because God never takes something out of your table, He always replaces something on your table, right? With a learning, a new dish, a learning. So never ever complain. If people even complain about what they don't have, why complain about what you don't have? Aren't you grateful for the fact what you have right now? Aren't you grateful for your ears, for the fact that you have a phone and you have YouTube so you can listen to this video? Aren't you grateful about the fact that you've got water and food at home, you've got lights on right now, you've got a body? And even if there's so many things, like people, what they tend to do is they try to look at things what they don't have rather than things they do have. And that is what I'm trying to say right now. People will focus so much on what they don't have that they revert all of their intention from what they do have, because they've got so many things. You're so privileged, you're so blessed, you've got so many things. You just need to start noticing them, and you'll realize you're so much privileged than everybody else. You're privileged like everybody else, so why not be thankful for it? Why complain about it? Next thing, focus on the important things. Now this is very important, because see, what people do is, what we humans tend to do is we tend to go and do 50 other things that are easy, that we think is easy. We do all of these 50 things, right, that will not add any value to our life, and we do all of it rather than doing that one thing which is, yes, it will take more time than the 50 things one, right, but it will reap greater benefits and it will give us better results and it will add some value to our life. So we humans, we focus on all the unimportant things. We try to give our attention, and this tip is especially important in business and work, right? In normal life, just focus on the good things, right? Not just the important and valuable, but the good things that make you happy, that brings joy in life and love into yourself, and the beautiful things that God has offered. But in terms of business and in terms of work, in your habits as well, focus on the important thing rather than focusing on the tens of things that will not add any value to your life at the end of the day. Rather than, we humans, like, we procrastinate the main thing, right? You will find yourself, there's this in studies also, like, I'll give you an example. You will tend to do all of those topics in a subject which might not come in your exam, right? They will not exactly come in your exam, they don't hold much importance, much weightage in your exam, and you will tend to not do that one important question, that one important topic that may as well be very important, because you think, if I do these 10 different things, they will definitely add on to more marks than the other one, but the other one holds more value in the weightage. So always focus on the important things, especially when it comes to business, work, habits, and just your productivity in general. Now, next thing, and this is such an important life advice, learn that nobody belongs to you. Nobody is your own. You, in return, is nobody. So nobody belongs to you. When you have a friendship with somebody, or a relationship, or even like a relationship with your family as well, you may call them your people, but they don't exactly belong to you. They're God's children, and you are too. Nobody of us belongs to us. So that's why when people walk away from friendships, even this mainly happens in friendships and relationships. So when people tend to walk away in friendships and relationships, you get so broke down, right? You literally break down and you're like, why did this happen to me? Why do I deserve this? And blah blah blah, all of those things. You're complaining, right? You're taking out all of your negativity, what you're basically feeling in the moment. So taking it all out, but at that time, I want you just remember that nobody in this world belongs to you. Yes, you may feel bad that the person who was so close to your heart left you, but then again, you should be appreciating the time you have, because you did have with that person, because in the end, nobody belongs to us. But that's why we need to appreciate the time we have with the people, and when they leave you, or you also have that right, you also have the right to leave the people when they don't serve you anymore. Let's make it completely normal to leave people when they don't serve you anymore, and let's make it normal that people can leave you when they don't serve you anymore. Leave that connection in a good place, that friendship, that relationship, leave it in a good place and store it as a memory and even as a lesson. Because another thing that I've learned is, the same kind of people and the same kind of situations as well will come to you again and again, because God wants to teach you a lesson. So if you feel like, why it's the same kind of toxic friendship coming to me again and again in my life, or the same kind of partner, bad partner, right, coming into my life again and again, when you realize that why is it happening again and again, realize that there's a lesson in it, and God is trying to give it to you again and again in order to teach you something. So this not only happens with people, but also situations as well. The same kind of situations come to you which you might feel are very negative and bad for you, and they're awful, like they're degrading you so much, but remember, there's always a lesson in it. Try to find that lesson. So don't complain and crib, okay, that people have left you. People have the right to do it. People have the right to walk away, and so do you. It is totally normal, it's totally healthy, and you have to appreciate the time you had with people, and leave that connection in a good place, in a safe space, where you keep the memory, you keep the love, you keep the joy and the lesson over there in that space. Try to look at the situation where you're trying to question what was wrong on your part, so you can learn from it. As I said, self-awareness. You're trying to take the lesson out of the the connection as well. So that was it for today's video. I hope you learned something or the other from this video, and remember, you're worthy, you're loved, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye, and remember to just relax.